What's up, guys? This your boy, Barça Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past 24 hours. We do have a lot of topics to discuss. Firstly, Operation Nico Williams is fully underway, where the club's goal is by the end of this week to almost, or if not fully, agree personal terms with the player. Again, all priorities transfer wise is on Nico Williams right now. The club want to do this deal as fast and as efficient as possible, as I do see him, of course, as the number one transfer target and the ideal candidate to increase the level of competition and the level of the squad for the upcoming season. Of course, another option on the left wing was always Dani Olmo. Apparently, Hansi Flick, very much a big fan of the player, and he would even prioritize Dani Olmo over Nico Williams. We'll wait and see if the club do make a move for him, especially after his release clause to expire in about 3 days' time. But again, that transfer is difficult. But with the law of rumors about potential sales, and the club really liking Dani Olmo, that's definitely one to watch this summer. Another one to watch, of course, is the midfield reinforcement, with Mikel Merino taking huge advantages right now at Barcelona. They see him as the ideal candidate for the good price, the experience, the age. Deco really wants to bring him in, and he could be that midfield reinforcement. Right now, Barcelona planning on Nico Williams and Mikel Merino signings for around a total of 90 million euros, so just shy under 100 million euros to really bolster this Barcelona squad. Two excellent signings. Again, we do some updates around Joshua Kimmich as well, what his future entails. That, of course, could lead to potentially joining Barcelona in the future. We have some big injury updates on Balde, Pedri, Araujo, and Pablo Torre as well, and some FIFA compensations that's going to be implied with that as well. And finally, two players really surprising and impressing Hansi Flick in training that he sees as two massive talents to help Barcelona this upcoming season. I will let you guys know what those two names are in the video. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. And also, if you're new, make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, before we get into this video is sponsored by Number 1 Foot. Number 1 Foot is one of the best replica football jersey websites on the market right now. They have a variety of different items at absolutely fantastic prices. For me here today, I'm going to show you guys the training kit from this season. This is the warm-up kit that the players use when they go out for training every single day, pre-games as well. You have here the Spotify logo. They have the club badge on it with the diamond as well. And I also have here one of the sweaters they have from last season. This was the Catalonia version. It feels like I bought this from the Nike store directly. The quality is absolutely unreal. The printing is fantastic. And of course, mainly the prices are unbeatable. And if you use the discount code BOY at checkout, you do get an additional 15% off your final order. That is BOY. Use it at checkout. You get 15% off your order, and all orders above $80 as well will guarantee you free shipping. So what are you waiting for? Click the top link in the description down below and get your new football kits today. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past 24 hours. Firstly, of course, we do have the updates surrounding the Nico Williams operation, which currently has the utmost priority for Barcelona, and there have been some advancements on personal term ahead of a big week for this transfer move. Now, firstly, Fabrizio Romano has come out saying that Barcelona is prioritizing a quick deal for Nico Williams. That is straight cap. That is a lie. This deal is not going to happen quick. I hope it does, but I don't think so. Aware of potential competition from Premier League clubs like Chelsea and Arsenal after his impressive Euro campaign, the focus and mission for this week is to reach an agreement on personal terms with the player, salary structure, bonuses, and other important things on the player side. The club will make a contract proposal to Williams. Barcelona know having the green light of the player is a crucial step in the transfer. In recent days, the club already have had more contacts with the player's agent. After agreeing personal terms with the player, Barcelona will then seek La Liga's approval for financial fair play to activate his release clause with Athletic Club. There is growing confidence within the Barcelona board and within Hansi Flick as well. So the plan is clear. Agree personal terms and then go speak to Athletic Club. Maybe try and do a different operation. If you can't, of course, go ahead and activate the full release clause immediately. Now, Jaime Miguel from AS came out saying the intention of Barcelona is to make an offer to Athletic Club for Nico Williams in the coming days, with the possibility of including players such as Inigo Martinez. If that doesn't work out, they're prepared to pay his release clause. So again, I don't think the club will go out there and pay his release clause full immediately. They'll try maybe to do a different transfer, maybe pay a bit over the release clause. That way they can play it in installments, and then afterwards, if all else fails, they'll go ahead and activate the release clause. Now, the Athletic have come out saying that Barcelona see the signing of Nico Williams as the option to rival Real Madrid's signing of Kylian Mbappe. So, player for player, is that really a rival? No, I think, again, Barcelona really focused on a system, a style of play, a team, a unity, or Madrid, as always, they're just focused on players and trying to see if they can bring them all together. That rivaling the signing, I think definitely Nico Williams would be kind of like a Kylian Mbappe signing for us, because he's kind of the final piece, one of the final pieces to this squad, kind of being completed as a whole balance-wise. So that's why we kind of feel that same way. Maybe that's why Barcelona, the board-wise, do feel that way as well. Now, finally, last night, Fabrizio Romano came out saying that Barcelona are holding off all deals as they want to focus on all efforts to sign Nico Williams. Conversation with the player's agent will be very active this week as Barcelona want to try and reach an agreement on personal terms, the salary and structure of the contract as well. It is known if the player will reduce his salary to join the club, but Barcelona can structure his salary in a different way, maybe including some bonuses based on winning titles or appearances. Again, Barcelona are confident. They believe the player is prioritizing them and are confident Nico Williams wants to play for Barcelona this summer. Again, it comes down to how quick Barcelona can do this deal. I'm very confident this deal will get over the line at some point, just about how fast we do it. I would love this deal to get done by the end of this month, but I have absolutely zero confidence in Barcelona whatsoever on getting a deal done this quickly. And again, everyone knows we want him. He wants to join it as well. That's why no other club right now is really talking, because they know that Barcelona kind of have the upper hand beyond belief. So we'll see how things do turn out. Hopefully by the end of this week, we can agree personal terms. If nothing is advanced by the end of this week, this deal is going to drag out beyond belief, I think. I hope that this week, at least we can get close to personal terms agreed, get some more of a basis of a contract agreed with Nico. That way, we can get operations moving with Athletic Club. It should be like this. This week, personal terms. Next week, Athletic Club. In 2 weeks, the deal's done. But will the club follow that model, that structure? I'm not quite too sure. Will it be that easy as well? No. You sit down with the agent of the player, see what he wants, and also what it will take to bring him to Barcelona this summer. So we'll see how things turn out. But again, this week it is all about getting Nico Williams to give the green light on personal terms to join Barcelona this summer. Now, another left winger who Barcelona are tracking in the market right now is still Dani Olmo. Now, Ivan San Antonio of Sport has come out saying that Joan Laporta has decided on signing Nico Williams, but the coaching staff, including Hansi Flick, would prefer to sign Dani Olmo. Now, of course, remember Hansi Flick has, gave the green light for Nico Williams. He wants to sign him, but apparently now we're hearing that if he could choose between Dani Olmo and Nico Williams, he would apparently choose Dani Olmo. Hansi Flick would rather sign Dani Olmo over Nico Williams, but the president, Joan Laporta, is convinced that Nico Williams signing would have a greater impact for Barca fans. Hansi Flick likes Dani Olmo's versatility and is convinced that he would do well at Barcelona. Now, do I believe this? Not really. The reason why I'm bringing this up is I'm going to say this again. Watch this space on Barcelona signing both Dani Olmo and Nico Williams. I feel like that kind of momentum is increasing. Again, no other club really right now is really keen on Dani Olmo apart from Bayern Munich, but they have him as a second or third option to Xavi Simons and Desiree Doué from Ligue 1. So apart from that, there's no real competition for him. I think again, Dani Olmo, hell of a player, and also we talked about in yesterday's video, Gundogan potential exit that will definitely open the door for Dani Olmo to join the squad again, personnel wise. Right now, in the positions that Dani Olmo would play in, we already have a lot of options. You have Pedri, you have Gavi, you have Gundogan, you have Fermin Lopez, you have Nico Williams, you have Ansu Fati, you have Ferran Torres. That's 7 players right there for 2 positions. So it would be very difficult for Dani Olmo to not let alone get minutes, but also make it worth spending 60 million euros on him. And if you do spend 60 million euros on him, what's going to happen with that other midfield option as well? That's going to be the big question around Dani Olmo. But apparently Hansi Flick, big fan of the player, and again Joan Laporta, also a big fan of the player as well. We've known this since he was elected in 2021. The 2 players that he really liked were João Felix and Dani Olmo. But I think again we can all agree that Nico Williams right now fits exactly what Barcelona need down that left hand side. So watch this space on Dani Olmo, see if things develop, how Barcelona maybe have a big sale coming in, big exit as well. That could definitely change the momentum for Dani Olmo to join. But again, once we pass July the 20th, RB Leipzig is going to have all the power in regards to negotiation. I think Dani Olmo said this as well during the Euros, that if no one activates his release clause, RB Leipzig are going to make it very, very difficult for him to move on this summer. So once we get past July the 20th and we don't make a move for him, and then his price is going to be set at like 80 million instead of 60 million from RB Leipzig, I think the momentum will definitely die down. But again, the interest from Barcelona is still very strong for Dani Olmo. Now, along with the left winger, into the priority for Barcelona this summer, of course, is to reinforce the midfield. And now we are hearing more reports that Mikel Merino is the number one option to bolster Barcelona's midfield. Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Mikel Merino right now is the number one option to have Barcelona reinforce their midfield. Mikel Merino is waiting for Barcelona to resolve their FFP situation and to make him an offer. Apparently, Arsenal and Atletico Madrid also showing very strong interest in him. Again, 1 year left on his contract with Real Sociedad, and he's not going to be renewing with the Basque club. Following this, Alex Pentel from Revivo came out saying that Barcelona is in fact exploring Mikel Merino as a target. Flick has already given the green light, and the club believes they can sign him for somewhere around 20 million euros. Despite Arsenal's strong interest, Barcelona is ahead, with Merino waiting to join the club. Again, for 20 million, this is a fantastic signing. And again, we've been saying this now over the past few days. Get Nico Williams, get a midfielder, and you're absolutely cooking for next season. You make two good improvements on what the squad needs for under 100 million euros as well. It is an absolute no-brainer. I think Mikel Merino is a very, very good player. Of course, not as exciting as the signing as Nico Williams, but a player that, you know what, comes with experience, can play in a double pivot as well, can give Barcelona different dynamism in that midfield. Not really a ball winner per se, but very technical, of course, has that La Liga experience. So for me, it's a great deal for Barcelona to execute. And again, it really comes down now to Barcelona making movements for Mikel Merino, and also movements as well to get back to the freaking 1-1 rule, which again is not official yet. There have been reports coming out about that, saying that Barcelona are basically back to the 1-1 rule. They just haven't made it official yet at this point, so we'll wait and see on that. But Mikel Merino's name is getting more intense as that midfield reinforcement. And again, you tell me right now, 80, 90 million euros for both Mikel Merino and Nico Williams, I would absolutely bite your hand off. I think that would be a great summer for Barcelona. Two top signings as well that will definitely improve the squad, and that's up to Barcelona to see if they can execute it. But again, for now, Mikel Merino is the number one option. There are still other names, there's still other areas where Barcelona could make the movements in the midfield, but right now Mikel Merino sits at the head of the table. Now, another option to keep an eye out for in the midfield is, of course, Joshua Kimmich, who has, again, like Mikel Merino, 1 year left on his deal. And right now, according to Bild in Germany, as things stand, Joshua Kimmich wants to fulfill his contract at Bayern Munich until 2025, resulting in him being a free agent next summer. So his situation right now a bit delicate as well. Keep your eyes on this. I think right now Mikel Merino is ahead of him in terms of what Barcelona want, and again, that does make sense in my opinion. Cheaper, younger, knows the language, knows the league as well, makes sense. But keep your eyes on Kimmich for the future, especially if Hansi Flick does really well in his first season. The club will be even more inclined to give him the players that he wants, and if he wants Kimmich for free next summer, that could definitely be an option. If again we keep Gundogan and then he ends up leaving next summer with his contract expiring, maybe De Jong ends up not renewing, stuff like that, it can definitely open up the window for Joshua Kimmich on a free deal as well. And keep your eyes on him this summer as well. If the Mikel Merino operation does end up failing, he will cost around the same amount, maybe a bit more, in the event that Barcelona do show some strong interest. But for now, Joshua Kimmich is aiming to be a free agent next summer, and I do think Barcelona's name will be in the hat of interested clubs. Let's now take a look at some of the injury updates around the first team at Barcelona. Some good news, but majority bad news in regards to injuries. Firstly, let's get the good news out of the way, and it is in regards to Alejandro Valde, who yesterday did take some part in the first team training. If you watched the training video on the Barcelona YouTube channel, we saw him, training with, Inigo and Ansu Fati a little bit. Didn't take part in the whole entire first team training, but took part in some of it, which again is good advancement in regards to his recovery for his injury. He's edging closer and closer to a full medical green light, and should be getting that before the team travels to America. Now, of course, following the 2 injuries in the Euros, the players now have returned. We saw pictures of course, Pedri and Araujo speaking with Hansi Flick, and there is updates on their 2 injuries. Firstly, on Pedri, the club have confirmed he does have a left knee sprain after tests being carried out at the Ciutat Esportiva Joan Gamper yesterday. There is a left knee sprain and he is out, and his recovery will determine his availability. He will be out, according to reports, for about 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how well and how long he takes to recover, which pretty much means he will not be back until September. Now, I will say this yet again, I will be shocked if Pedri comes back before the first international break in mid-September. I think if he comes back before that, it's a bonus. I think he'll be aiming for some place after that. He could maybe go to Spain if he is maybe somewhat fit, just gain some rhythm there before he returns to Barcelona. I wouldn't mind that, but if he plays at any single point before the international break of September, I genuinely will be shocked. Apparently, he's aiming to be back for around the 5th game of La Liga, so again, he's going to miss the whole entire preseason, and it's a big blow for Barcelona in regards to the start of the season, but hopefully we can power through it. We do have some adequate replacements. Now, following this injury, of course, he did pick up while on international duty. Mundo Deportivo came out saying that FIFA will compensate Barcelona for Pedri. Pedri will be out for about 2 months, with compensation starting from August 2nd until the medical clearance, which is estimated to be around the first week of September in the best case scenario. FIFA's club protection program offers a daily compensation rate of around 20,000 euros, totaling to around 700,000 euros for around 35 days for Pedri's injury, potentially more if his recovery is delayed. So FIFA will pay Barcelona around, let's say, 750,000 euros for the injury of Pedri. And again, in the report, it does say that he will be coming back around the first week of September, but I doubt it. I think he will coming back for around the end of September. So we'll wait and see how Pedri's recovery does go, and hopefully it is the only injury that we see him get during the course of the season. Now, speaking on FIFA compensation, of course, Barcelona will also receive compensation for the injury of Araujo, with Marca coming out saying that Barcelona will be receiving around 2.5 million euros for the injury of Araujo as part of FIFA's compensation plan for the player injured on international duty. Again, not really something to bolster about, but it's nice to have, you could say. Of course, remember we received around 8 million for Gavi's injury that he had last November. I don't think we received any compensation for Lewandowski, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely not for Frankie, because he was of course injured beforehand. But compensation is compensation. We'll take it. So around, you could say, 3 million euros in total compensation for Araujo and Pedri for their injuries for Spain and Uruguay respectively. And some sort of a limelight, you could say, probably not, but it is what it is. Now, the final injury update, yeah, that's right, final injury update. There was a new fresh injury at Barcelona, and it did take place yesterday in the first team training session, and it did happen to Pablo Torre. Out of nowhere, the club released an official statement saying that Pablo Torre has fractured his 5th metatarsal bone in his left hand in an impact during training session yesterday, of course, today when the report came out. He's set to have surgery in the coming days under Dr. Xavi supervision. Dr. Xavi Amir, I think he's a Spanish doctor. And when I first saw this, I'm thinking, effing hell, man. We have now little to no midfielders, not only fit for the season, but fit for freaking preseason at this point. But once you read into it a little bit, it's a left-hand injury. So that probably means he ran into something, fell on it wrongly, and it's just like this bone right here. So again, he should be able to play, bandage it up after the surgery, shouldn't be out for too long. Tony Juan Martin did come out saying the idea is that Pablo Torre will still be fit and will travel to America for the tour. So I think what will happen is that he'll be out for about 4 weeks in regards to actually playing games, but in about a week or two, should be back to training. I think he can definitely train with the post-surgery band. Probably not playing the match, because of course in the match everyone's going to be rules and stuff like that, but in training he can maybe highlight some precaution just to keep his fitness up. But hopefully that shouldn't be the case, that he will be out for preseason. Hopefully he'll be able to play in that first game against Man City in just now under 2 weeks' time. But yeah, we have all these new physios coming in, new training staff, and these injuries still happening. But again, it's not really a muscle injury per se. I think something happened, whether he fell or got hit hard. Maybe he was playing around. Maybe those freaking chains that they've been showing in the training session videos. I have no idea, but he did, fracture a bone in his hand, which goes to show that something did happen. The club did say that there was some sort of impact during the training. So again, they won't go into full details, but something did happen in that regard. So hopefully Pablo Torre's injury is not too serious. And again, by the way, the club do want to potentially move him on if he does not really impress in preseason. So that could potentially hinder a potential exit. But with this injury not being that serious and him being back hopefully in about 1 to 3 weeks, it will hopefully not, put any hindrance on his future at Barcelona. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is actually staying in regards to preseason training, where according to reports from Alex Pentel from Relevo, Ansu Fati and Gavi have impressed and surprised Hansi Flick. Flick sees incalculable potential in the young players of the academy. Again, I see this all the time. Do not get hyped about it. All comes down to your own eye test. In training, anyone can look great. I can look great in training. Yes, I could look like the next best thing since sliced bread. But when it comes to the pitch, when it comes to that moment, the pressure, and your feeling and your composure in that kind of moment, that's where your true test comes in. We know the ability of Ansu Fati. We know how good Gavi is. Hopefully Gavi does come back to his best following that ACL injury. Ansu, of course, this is his chance. I've been begging for it on these videos for the past month, transfer video wise. Just get on the plane, prove everyone wrong, and this is now his moment to shine, and we'll wait and see if he ends up doing it or not. If he does do it, definitely can, have some sort of shakeup, and definitely could result in some sort of negative connotations to the future of Joao Felix as well. So again, them impressing does not really bother me too much. You want to see results on the pitch. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past 24 hours. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. Of course, the main thing I want to first, of course, is on the signing of Nico Williams. Think there will be some good progression this week or not. Second, your thoughts on Dani Olmo. Are you interested in bringing him and Nico Williams in? Your thoughts on Hansi Flick being very keen. What price would you pay for him? And especially now with RB Leipzig's release clause disadvantage, probably disappearing. Do you think there's any chance we sign Dani Olmo this summer? Thirdly, your thoughts on Mikel Merino being a strong option for Barcelona this summer. Your thoughts on the price, the player profile as well, and do you think this deal will end up happening? And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barça.
Yeah.